Our top story is that controversial move in Berkeley.
We want to give you a look from above from NBC Bay Area Sky Ranger over People's Park. A very much calmer and different scene from what happened overnight. Officers moved in, kicking out dozens of people who had been occupying the park in an attempt to stop a major student housing project from being built there. Officers did arrest a handful of folks who refused to leave.
NBC Bay Area's Thom Jensen has been live at the park all morning long and bringing us updates throughout. Tom, what's the latest?
Well, good morning to both of you. I don't know if you could see from the shot above, but they have really made a lot of headway building this perimeter around People's Park. They got all the protesters and the occupiers out, brought in this heavy equipment, and started building this perimeter this morning, stacking shipping containers too high to make sure that the protesters and the occupiers stay out. A huge police contingent swarmed in and began moving People's Park occupiers out at about midnight. Detaining and citing 7 of them with misdemeanor charges of trespassing and, in 2 cases, additional counts of failing to disperse.
The folks here know that they're trespassing. They were given an opportunity to leave, and we continue to hope they'll leave peacefully and abide by the law.
As the arrested were escorted out, dozens of workers filed in, ripping down tents and other makeshift homes, including a treehouse, but protesters vowed to fight.
When we fight, we win! When we fight, we win!
Their shouts drowned out by the growl of chainsaws, removing the last few trees that had to come down to make room for an 1,100-bed student housing project.
We have an urgent need for student housing at UC Berkeley. The university is also donating a good portion of this land to a nonprofit developer to create new supportive housing for low-income people. 2/3 of the park will be kept as open space, and it's a really important project for the community.
UC Berkeley says the school decided to clear the park during the winter break to minimize the chance of trouble for students and neighbors living closest to the park. They'll keep these streets closed for another 3 to 4 days as they continue erecting this wall at least 16 feet high around the perimeter of People's Park. But protesters say they're not finished trying to stop the work.
But we're never going to give up!
Construction on the $400 million housing project won't start until the university gets court approval to begin work. But UC Berkeley officials said in a written statement, quote, "The courts have repeatedly affirmed the university's ability to enforce the site's legal status as a closed construction zone." Meanwhile, you can see that there is a heavy police presence still here, keeping protesters back down at the other end of People's Park from where we are, down near Telegraph. And those 7 people who they cited earlier, they were taken to the North County Jail in Oakland, where we're told they were cited, they were booked, and then they were released. We're live in Berkeley. Thom Jensen, NBC Bay Area News.